Formula 3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA, is the first worldwide F3 series, starting according with the new FIA Formula 3 regulation. And we are starting 6 months ahead of the schedule that was planned by FIA. The new F3 technical regulation is different than the old Formula 3 that we were used to work past. The main difference is that the engine has not anymore airbox. Engine power has been set at 270 horsepower, and the chassis needs to respect the latest specification in terms of safety. The main difference that everybody can notice is the presence of the halo system that makes comparable to Formula 1 and Formula 2. It's a new regulation that will be applied also for all the new series Formula 3 in the world starting from 2019, and we are really proud to be the first one to start with the new technical regulation of FIA.
Hi, I'm Keisel, car 00 from East Texas with Keisel Racing.
My name is Takajata. I'm driving with Team Super Racing. I'm from Japan.
我是殷海涛，我在 Motorsport 的车手，我的车号是3号。
My name is Louis Fred. I'm from Monaco. I'm driving for Black Art Racing, and I will hold the car number 4 for the whole season.
我叫于快，驾驶5号赛车，代表 Chase Iron Racing。
My name is Tomoki Takahashi. I'm Super License, car number 7. I'm from Japan.
My name is Jeremy Mohammed. I'm driving car number 8 and I'm racing for SVC Asia.
I'm Billy from Zen Motorsport. My car number is 10, 16 years old.
我是梁汉超，我是 Dragon High-Tech GP 车队的，然后开的是11号赛车。
My name is Rahul Hyman. I race for Dragon High-Tech GP. I'm from Great Britain and I'm car number 27.
My name is Akash Neil Nandi. I drive for Absolute Racing car number 29 and I'm from Malaysia.
My name is Dragon. Car number is 30. DMAX Racing Team from Japan.
Hello, I'm Prezi Martono. I come from Indonesia. I drive car number 32 from Black Art Racing Team.
Hi, I'm Akash Gowda and I'm 19 years old and I'm from India, racing for Team M Sport, car number 32.
Jake Hughes, car number 34 from High-Tech Dragon GP.
我是曹卓，今年16岁，我的车号是55，来自泰勒克车队。
I'm Jaden Conrad. I drive car number 80 for Absolute Racing.
我们现在是在雪邦国际赛场为您进行2018年国际汽联亚洲3级方程式锦标赛。雪邦这条赛道呢，它看起来是一个很平缓的赛道，但是它的弯角范围特别的大，同时它的直道特别的宽，所以车手在过弯的时候啊，一定要熟悉好赛道，熟悉好你在弯中的位置。正赛即将开始。7号 Tomoki Super License 的 Tomoki Takahashi 冲出了赛道。车回到了赛道，这是一位很敢于进攻的车手。JQ 通过方格旗非常漂亮。
Asia is recognized as to be the growing market in the world, not only for motorsport. F3 Asian Championship has collect drivers and teams from all over the world. We have 3 teams from Europe, we have teams from India, we have teams from Japan, Hong Kong and China. Just to show that this is the market and the place where drivers and teams want to be now and for the future. In order to be ready for in July 2018, we made a very big effort Only 6 months ago, we have got confirmation about the technical regulation and specification of the car. It was a hard job from the car manufacturer, engine manufacturer, and organizer to make it ready in a very short period. The championship that we are delivering is really good. It looks that team and driver are really satisfied about the product. Tatus and Auto Technical has delivered a very good car and reliable especially. And as organizer, we have set up a very good platform for team and drivers to perform in Asia.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Ladies and gentlemen, greeting from Ningbo International Speed Park. Now you are watching the second round of Formula 3 Asia Championship satisfied by FIA. The fourth race of 2018 season is about to start, and now we are in the Ningbo International Circuit. As we all know, it's the first appearance of our championship in China, also in Ningbo, and the circuit was completed in October last year, which is FIA Grade 2 circuit, and it has 4.015 kilometers with 22 turns. Which gonna be a challenge to our drivers or not? Let's find out.
OK， 那么各位车迷朋友们，大家上午好啊！欢迎收看我们在宁波国际赛车场为您带来的国际汽联亚洲3级方程式锦标赛2018赛季第2站的现场直播。那么马上将要进行的是我们这个赛季第4回合的正赛。宁波站呢，其实是亚洲 F3在国内赛道上的首秀，同时对于我们大部分车手来讲，这也是他们第一次在这条去年10月份刚刚投入使用，同时是一条国际汽联2级赛道上的第一场比赛。那么全新的系列赛来到了一条全新的赛道啊，我们的车手们又会给我们怎样新的精彩、新的刺激呢？谁又能脱颖而出，拿下本场比赛的胜利？让我们拭目以待，大家不要走开。
Okay, so now you are in the first position of this race and you are going to lead the race. So what do you think about it? Do you Now you are at the first position and leading the race, and do you feel excited about it or you feel stressful?
I'm feeling good. It's just focus on getting a good start and then see how the race plays out there from there. Just focus on the whole race ahead of us and then come out first position in the end.
Okay, thank you. And it's your first time here, and do you know about this track before?
Yeah, I knew about the track and how it's brand new, but it's my first time racing here and it's quite interesting circuit, quite technical, it's quite fun.
Okay, thank you. Now you are at the second position. As we all know, the first position, Jadon, is also your teammate. So you are going to compete at the same circuit. So what do you feel about it?
I mean, my teammate is very fast. I think the aim is to get a very good result for the team to be able to finish first and second. I'm sure my teammate and I will play it very fair. We'll both be fighting for first. So yeah, let's see how the race goes.
And also, we all know that your team, Absolute Race, is also a good team, and you have on the top of the rank. And for this race, what's your strategy?
It will be a long race, so the team has provided us with a good car. We've got good pace, so the aim is just to be as consistent as we can be, and and then definitely come home with a good result.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is it your first time in this circuit, and what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think it'll be a tough race. It's really hot, starting P3 as well behind the Absolute cars. They were really quick yesterday. So I'm just aiming for an extremely good start, a really good first lap, and hopefully we'll come out with a top result.
Okay. And what drive you to compete in this kind of race?
Well, this is Asian Formula 3. It's a new car, it's a new championship, and I think it's an ideal place for me to be as a driver to develop and move forward in my career.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. For us to do an interview? Okay. Is it your first time here in this circuit, and what do you think about it?
This circuit is too tough. I do the most of tough race, maybe.
And for you, what do you arrange for you? Do you want to like push hard or you try to just hold a little bit?
Yes, I have a to talk this. I most of trust me. Yes, push. Push.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
好，去哪的？
还要踩。
所以呢，他在赛车的比赛方面经验还是非常丰富的。34号的车手就是他在今天的比赛是排在了第5位起步。11号的车手呢，就是梁汉超，来自中国澳门的车手。梁汉超呢，今年只是18岁，在去年的比赛里面呢，他是亚洲联盟方程式，也是中国 F4比赛的冠军，是一位被誉为非常有天赋的车手。那么另外的一位中国车手于焕。
who has raced in the Formula Masters China Series. And this is his So the grid is largely clear. 1 minute to go, there's the ball being carried off. And you can see the heat rising from the track. Well, if you're just joining us, the track temperature measured a moment ago at 38 degrees centigrade. So not the hottest that we see in this part of the world, but certainly pretty hot in these cars. And they'll just be going through all their final checks. You can see most of the crowd there safely sheltering in the shade of the grandstand because it is approaching the top temperatures of the day. So let's run through the grid here for you. Jaden Conwright starts alongside his teammate Akash Nandi on the front row. Then Raoul Hyman and Tomoko Takahashi. Ben Hingley, Charles Leong, Yu Kuai, Louis Pret, Akash Gowda, Yin Hai Tao, Liu Zexuan and Tomoko Takashi Hata in the 12th and final spot. So the warm-up lap here at the Ningbo International Speed Park. These cars run on the GT tyre, pretty hard compounds they have for this season. So the drivers don't have to worry too much about tyre degradation. And the race is just about 30 minutes long. So sprint races really in the wider context of the racing world, but certainly long enough for plenty of action. Jaden Conwright, who is pole today, his best result in Sepang was 2 fourth place finishes, so he will be desperate to convert his pole position into his first podium of the season. And he is currently in 5th position overall in the championship on 24 points. Akash Nandi, his teammate, just one above him in the standings with 28 points. He had a DNF in the first race in Sepang, followed by a 5th place finish and a 2nd. So he's steadily been improving. And he starts from the front row of the grid. And as Akash said, there certainly won't be any team orders from the Absolute guys. They will be going flat out for the win. Of course, they hope they won't be taking each other out. But Absolute Racing have a chance to put down a marker here in Ningbo because the Dragon High-Tech GP team absolutely dominated, with Jake Hughes, Raoul Hyman and Charles Leong the top 3 in the standings. But Hughes, as already mentioned, not here, racing in Europe for other commitments this weekend. And Ben Hingley is the man replacing him. But it was Conrad and Nandi who have that extra time on the track here in Ningbo, who are on the front row. Now 22 turns, and it is a very testing track. It's just a shade over 4 kilometers in length. And a very, very busy circuit for the drivers. That's a lot of turns in a relatively short space of time. And plenty of areas to overtake, and some pretty testing spots as well. So moments away here from the start of race number 4 in the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA here at the Ningbo International Speed Park. Jaden Conrad, number 80 there. He is the man in pole position. Listen to those engines roar. Watch the red lights. Out they go. We are go time here in Ningbo. And can Conrad hold it? Well, 4 wide here in Ningbo. And what a start there from the number 7 car of Tomoko Takahashi, who started in 4th position and has blasted into the lead here. Well, what a start. And Conrad caught napping. Well, what? Someone went off there, but it looks like Takahashi still in pole position. And the number 7 car of Raoul Hyman going past him here, trying to take the lead back. Well, he went inside that corner. The stewards will certainly be having a look to see. And Takahashi went right. Well, it's all happening here in the opening lap. 25 sprint minutes here. And it is, well, so much has happened already, and already an incident for the stewards to take a look at, with Hyman going off the track. The number 34 car of Ben Hingley, who started down in 5th position, is your current leader. And look at Jaden Conrad, who had that blip at the start, starting from pole, now back up into 2nd. So as we come around from the first lap, we'll be able to give you an update on the overall standings, but a lot of change so far. And that is the number 2 car of Takashi Hata bringing up the rear of the field. So Hingley, it is, the debutant, has left off where Jake Hughes, the man he is replacing here in Ningbo, where he left off. And that is at the front of this field. So Conrad, number 80 car, in 2nd position. You can see the twists and turns of this busy Ningbo circuit. And Ben Hingley already with a little bit of a lead. Nearly 9/10 of a second he leads, with Conrad in 2nd. Tomoko Takahashi, who burst into the lead at the front at the start of this race, now back into 3rd place. Raoul Hyman is in 4th. Akash Nandi, who started on the front row of the grid, is in 5th position. Charles Leong is in 6th. Yu Kuai is in 7th. Akash Gauda in 8th. Yin Hai Tao in 9th. Louis Pret, Liu Zexuan, and Tomoko Takashi Hata is still in 12th position. Well, that was breathtaking stuff at the start here, but it certainly looked clean. No contact from what we could tell here. And Raoul Hyman is pushing hard for that final podium spot. He's in 4th position, right behind Tomoko Takahashi. And Takahashi is just 20 years old, but he's been on the Asian motor racing circuit for a number of years. He's always been very quick, hasn't had as much race drives as some of his other competitors here, but he's always quick when you get behind the wheel, and that certainly showed at the start of this race, starting from 4th position and briefly taking the lead. So Hingley is looking pretty comfortable so far. very early days here in Ningbo, just lap 2. And Ben Hingley now being pursued by Jaden Conright, who looks to have closed a little bit of that gap. And we'll get a time check here. Well, actually, Conright, that last turn looked a little bit sluggish, so the gap has actually very slightly increased to 0.9 of a second, 0.94 in fact. Ben Hingley leads from Jaden Conright at the head of this field. Then it's still Tomoko Takahashi and Raoul Hyman in 3rd and 4th. Akash Nandi, Charles Leong, who is just 16 years old and running in 6th here, but he's in 3rd in the overall championships. Yukwai, Akash Gaudi, Yinhai Tao, Pret, Leo, and Hatta. So not too many changes on lap 2, certainly not the same as the first lap. And just something to be aware of, that the fastest lap in this race will set the grid for the second of the 3 races this weekend. There were 2 qualifying sessions yesterday, and they will set the grids respectively for the 1st and 3rd races, and the middle race is set by the fastest lap. A pretty bumpy corner there. Towards the back end of this circuit, around turn 18 or 19, there's a little road that joins on, an exit road, and the camber is a little bit off for these cars, meaning that they actually launch slightly into the air depending on the line that they take. So another little tricky area for these drivers to be aware of. Most of them pretty early on in their motor racing careers. Leong is the youngest at 16. Several others are 19, 20, 21. As we come round for one more lap, Conright has closed slightly. It's now less than 0.8 of a second at the lead. And then a bit of a gap to Takahashi in 3, Raoul Hyman in 4, Akash Nandi, Charles Leong, Yukwai, and Akash Gaudi round out the top 8. So again, no changes there. And interestingly, that Jaden Conright has just set the fastest lap time of the race so far. So if he manages to keep that lap time, he will be the pole sitter for the 2nd race of the weekend. So Hingley and Conright, bit of a gap, and there's a battle behind them there as Takashi and Hyman were battling for 3rd spot. Let's see if we can take another look at that behind these 2 leaders. Well, Takahashi still is in 3rd position, but Raoul Hyman is looking for every chance he can get. Here is the battle now for position number 3. And Nandi and Leong right behind. A bit of lock-up there from Nandi. Doesn't seem to have cost him, but Charles Leong will be ready to pounce in 6th at the back of this stream of 4 cars. There he is. So the pressure is very much on the Japanese driver here, with the Brit behind him, Raoul Hyman, looking for every opportunity. And then another mini battle there with Akash Nandi, managing to hold Charles Leong off at the moment. No chance down this home straight there. But the gap is 3.5 seconds between the 2nd place of Jaden Conright and the 3rd place of Tomoko Takahashi. So some mini battles going on around the track, and you can see that is the gap that I was just talking about. This is 3rd and 4th. Oh, and some lock-up, just a little bit on the brakes there from Hyman. And look at Akash Nandi already closing in due to that little mini mistake from Hyman. Gives Takahashi just a little bit of breathing room there. Charles Leong is making a move on Akash Nandi. Can he go through? Well, they're still wheel to wheel. But Charles Leong and Akash Nandi just covers across. Here goes Leong on the outside now. Not enough. Well, he's giving it everything. The young driver from Macau, who is based in Zhuhai, just across on the mainland, in the very southern part of China. Akash Nandi has been around forever, it seems, but still just 21 years old. He started when he was 16, which is the age that Leong is right now. So Hingley and Conright at the start. This is Hingley. As we come around to complete 5 laps, let's just get a time check on that. Well, another quickest lap from Jaden Conright, just 4/1000th of a second quicker than Hingley. So they both beat the old fastest lap time, but Conright stayed marginally quicker, so didn't really make up any time on the leader. But he has kept his fastest lap time, which, as I said, sets the grid for the next race of this weekend. Then we have a 5.5-second gap back to Takahashi. Here he is, the number 7 car in position number 3. Then Raoul Hyman, and still Akash Nandi and Charles Leong in 5th and 6th position. But plenty of time here at the Ningbo International Speed Park for more action. And often with these younger drivers, they're pretty aggressive on track. If they see an opening, they'll take it, even when they don't necessarily quite have the right of way. The number 5 car of Yu Kuai, marginally ahead of Akash Gowda, holding on to 7th position at the moment. So still Hingley leads from Conright, as we are a lap or two short of the halfway mark of this, the 4th race of the season. Down a slight hill, a little bit of elevation around the back part of this track, but not too much. So let's get another time check on these two, and they are racing, and this time Hingley it is who has posted the fastest lap as these tyres continue to warm. Well, Raoul Hyman in 4th position has just set the fastest lap, so Hingley had beaten Conright's time. But Hyman down in 4th, pushing very, very hard behind Tomoko Takahashi. And it is Raoul Hyman currently in pole position for the next race of the weekend. So it's 1.3 seconds the gap between Hingley and Conright. And then Takahashi and Hyman right here on screen. Hyman pushing very, very hard to try and get that podium position. And there they are at the top of the screen, just coming around, and Hyman is absolutely firing now. And he's giving the Japanese driver plenty to think about, swinging every which way behind him. And this is very much the battle to watch. Hyman finished in the podium positions in all 3 of the races in Sepang. He currently sits just 1 spot outside in this particular race, but he will be desperate to keep that streak alive. And the way he's driving, he's got every chance in the next 13 or so minutes to try and make a move and hope that it can stick. But at the moment, Tomoko Takahashi is still fractionally ahead in 3rd. Here they are. This is the battle. The number 7 car of Tomoko Takahashi, the number 27 car of Raoul Hyman behind him. And Hyman with a 1:44.1 last time out. As they come around to complete another lap. Well, the gap at the front that Hingley has over Conright, 1.5 seconds. So Conright's still in touch, but the gap, and then try to make a move in the remaining laps of this race. Still Takahashi. Oh, and there goes Hyman, having another look not this time. Raoul Hyman in fourth position, still continuing to push very hard. Last time he was second, slower than the previous one, so he's definitely going faster than Takahashi at the moment. He just can't find a way past. There are lots of twists and turns in all here at the Ningbo circuit. Long stretches. So perhaps the best chance that Hyman has is to keep pressuring and force the Japanese driver to make a mistake. Complete one more lap here, and still very much in touch. In fifth, not too far behind. Still in sixth. As we will stick with this battle, well, go back to the leads now. So 8 laps to go. Holding up traffic, managing to hold on to that podium position. And Hyman might have something to think about behind. With Nandi and Malaysia catching him. It does seem that Hyman is the quickest car of these three, but he can't find a way past Takahashi at the moment. It's the last 10 minutes here. At some stage, he's going to have to think about it. Hold on to the championship points. Go for it. Driving well. It's a pole position so far. Still qualifying. Reversal. Holding on to the third podium spot. So, no change so far. Running further down the leaderboard, it's still Ningbo leading on right. Still 2 seconds at the front of this field. There are your leaders. And then a pretty large gap now, 6.5 seconds back. Third, Raoul Hyman, Nandi, Leon, White, Gauda, Yinmantao, Leon, Zhuan, Brett. So bending means that the Dragon High-Tech GP team are on course for the 4th consecutive win here in the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. That won't please the Absolute Racing team because they locked out the front row of the grid with Jaden Conroy and Akash Nandi, but neither driver had a particularly impressive start. Conroy recovered well, and he is in second position. Akash Nandi down in fifth, so disappointing there. Running pretty well, continuing to look untroubled. This will certainly give the Absolute guys something to think about. Well, just provisionally at the moment, Raoul Hyman will be the pole sitter for the next race of the weekend, and it looks like Ben Hingley will be alongside him on the front row of the grid. The next race, just joining us, is set by the fastest lap time in this race. And then again, provisionally, it looks like Clive from further down the field, maybe in position number 3. Confirmation for you of that later on. So Hingley, shade over 2 seconds ahead of Jaden Conright, and then still this battle for 3, 4 and 5. Takahashi clinging on to that last podium position by his fingertips at times. Raoul Hyman also has to think about Akash Nandi behind him. And then Charles Leong and Yu Kwai racing pretty quickly. Yu Kwai, Chinese driver, in position number 7. Laps, and that's not what you want to see. That's the Blackouts car of Louis Press. And he had been a little bit down the field, so not sure if he had some sort of issue that they're trying to start. He's not getting out of the car just yet, but with 5.5 minutes left on the clock, it doesn't look like he's going to be scoring any points short of some retirements elsewhere in the field. Hingley still leads the gap now up to nearly 3 seconds. And Hingley really has had a textbook race. Starting down in 5th position, but roaring to the head of his field right from the start. Having a look there, but Takahashi closing the door. Well, perhaps, is that going to be his last chance? Wasn't quite close enough behind him to force the Japanese driver wide. That was going to have the adrenaline pumping in both drivers. Too far to move up unless something happens to either him or Conrad. Takahashi with a tremendous battle with Raoul Hyman. He's so far getting the best of it. Every opportunity. As another lap is in the books. And it's going to be now or never for Raoul Hyman. Third spot. Seconds ahead, so I'm not sure if Conrad had a bit of a problem, but he's just easing off. He's still comfortably ahead of Takahashi in third. only now coming into the picture with a gap over 6 seconds. Takahashi still is clinging on to third spot. But this is Hingley, just a few more turns before he can get his first win of this series in the books. But Conright can also make some progress in the overall standings with Jake Hughes, who is the current championship leader, racing in Europe on this weekend. So Ben Hingley, who has maintained consistently quick lap times throughout, not quite the quickest, that goes to Hyman, and he will be on pole position for the next race. But Ben Hingley has posted a 1:44.2 and has remained around that sort of standard over the last few laps. Hingley now comfortably clear of Jaden Conright as we come round to the checkered flag, and Ben Hingley will win this F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA race here at the Ningbo International Speed Park. Jaden Conright is second, and Takahashi just clings on to third after a tremendous battle with Akash Nandi. It was something happening further back on that last lap, coming through for fourth with Raoul Hyman. Disappointment for him to slip back into fifth. The silver lining is that, well, what do you know? A double disappointment for Raoul Hyman, because not only did he lose position number 4 in that final lap, but he also lost the fastest lap time right at the end by just 1/100th of a second to Jaden Conright, who will be the pole sitter for all 3 races this weekend. But that is your race leader. Race winner, I should say, Ben Hingley. And a fantastic debut in the series here. Comes from Chester in the UK and has been racing in the British Formula 3 series, where he finished third in 2017, as well as in the Euro Formula Open series. So Hingley, 21 years old, and he's feeling pretty happy right about now. You can see that these cars have the halo design. So provisionally for the next race of the weekend, it will be Conright again on pole position followed by Hyman, Hingley and Takahashi. So some familiar faces on the front rows of the grid. But right now it is all about Ben Hingley, who on his debut at the F3 Asian Championship wheels into the #1 board. Jaden Conwright has his best finish of the series after 2 4th place finishes and a 13th. Conwright now in 2nd. And Tomoko Takahashi, his first podium finish of the season as well. So a very different top 3, which is good to see. Competitive here. And let's see if we can get a word.
Congratulations, now you are in the first. Congratulations, now you are at the first position. And how you make that? Can you explain to us?
Had a mega start. You know, like starting from 5th was always going to be difficult, but I'm always confident at the start. I know I can move forward, and yeah, you know, it was really satisfying as well to pull away. So, you know, we struggled a bit over the last 2 days. New track, new car, new atmosphere. I'm not used to it this hot, but yeah, no, the car felt mega. We've worked really hard, and yeah, happy to get first for the team.
And we have the race in the afternoon. So, what do you arrange for the afternoon?
Yeah, I think we're starting from the front row, so another good start, and yeah, we can do that again definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Well, some highlights here, and what a start it was, with the Japanese driver blasting into the lead, but then look at the British driver. Here it is, that was the move, and after that he didn't look back. And plenty of battles throughout the rest of this field, with Charles Leong, the number 11 car, in the thick of it. And this was where, well, if we can just see it, but mostly this man was away and clear throughout the race. And a very impressive debut performance from Ben Hingley. So apologies to Ben, I've been saying your name wrong all race long, but I've got it right now, finally. Thanks for that feedback from the family watching back home. So Ben Hingley, Jaden Conwright and Tomoko.
Okay, now the weather has become really hot. Does that affect you a little bit?
Yeah, the feeling that I had on the formation lap was a bit different during the race. As it got hotter, the balance changed a bit, but we did what we could. Ben got us on the start, but we didn't have quite anything for him in the race, so I just dropped back a bit and then was able to get pole position for the next race.
And as we all know, we have 22 turns in this circuit. And which turn you think is the most difficult for you?
Yeah, this track is extremely physical. You never have a time to rest. There's no long straightaways here, so you're always constantly in a corner. You never get a break at all.
And for the afternoon, the competition, what do you expect?
Work on the start a bit and then just try to continue where we left off. We had good pace, so you just need to work on the initial start.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Jaden Conwright, who finished in 2nd position today, and he was able to grab that pole position for the next race of the weekend right at the end in lap number 15 with a 1:44.1. Just fractionally ahead of Raoul Hyman, but that goes to show how competitive this field is at the top, with Ben Hingley the overall leader in this race, and it looks to be that he will be starting from the 3rd spot in the next race. See if we can grab a quick word with Tomoko Takahashi. although he may have to get up to the podium. So in the overall standings, quick calculation looks like Jake Hughes, although he's absent, is still leading with 75 points thanks to his 3 wins in Sepang the last time out. But you'd imagine by the end of the 3 races here in Ningbo, that will no longer be the case. Raoul Hyman now has 58 points. And Jaden Conwright with 52. So those seem to be his nearest rivals. And interesting to hear from Jaden there just how physical this circuit is. 25 minutes, as I said, very much a sprint race, but with no long straights, never a moment to pause for these drivers. So fitness and conditioning still a factor here. Well, stay with us for the podium celebration. Looks like the drivers are getting ready to come out onto the stage.
Second place, car number 80 from Absolute Racing, Jaden Conrad. Third place, car number 7 from Super License, Tomoki Takahashi. Now it's my honor to invite Mr. Ge Fenglei, Chief Engineer of GT Tire RD Center, to present the trophy to the winner. Now please welcome Mr. Wang Feng, General Manager of Meantime Motorsports, to present the trophy to second place. Now let's invite Mr. David Tigobi, General Manager of Top Speed Shanghai Limited, to present the trophy to third place. Now let's have the group photo. Now, champagne time.
Probably won't be consuming too much due to a race later today. To win on his debut, fine performance. And if you're watching online, we do have another race today, which starts at 4 p.m. local time. So 4 hours from now, if you are tuning in from all parts of the world. So that will be the second race of the weekend. And this is Yin Hai Tao for the Masters Podium.
Now please welcome Mr. Ge Fenglei, Chief Engineer of
Zexuan
GT Tire RD Center,
in
to
second
present the
place.
trophy to the winner.
And Takashi Hata in third.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Wang Feng, General Manager of Meantime Motorsports, to present the trophy to second place. Now let's invite Mr. David Gobi, General Manager of Top Speed Shanghai Limited, to present the trophy to third place. Now let's take a group photo.
So confirmation of the Masters results. Yin Hai Tao, Liu Zexuan and Takashi Hata rounding out the podium. And that will complete our coverage of the first race of the weekend here in the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA at the Ningbo International Speed Park. Join us again in just under 4 hours' time for the next race. Thanks for watching.
so we were trying to dial the car in since Thursday. The team being new to the track, myself included, and the car. It was pretty difficult throughout Thursday and Friday to really maximise what we had. So a lot of work went in, late nights, and yeah, you know, thankful to give the team this result.
All right, thank you. And next question to Jaden. Jaden, can you tell us what happened at the start?
By the time we got to the chicane, but from there I just thought that maybe we could have better race pace and slowly catch up, but like you said, the high-tech car found quite a bit of pace over the night, so we were just able to have to settle for second.
All right, thank you. And third question to Moki-san. I saw the Hyman for Absolute Racing. I keep just a little space behind you, and I gave you a lot of pressure. How did you manage to keep him behind you?
3番手に走ってて4番手がすぐ後ろにいたじゃない。その時をどういう感じでプレッシャーを感じてたかっていう、どうやってその、ペースを守りきったのかっていう。
セパンでラウフには負けてしまったので、今回は前に、絶対抑えるしかなかったので、特に後ろは見ずにずっとフルプッシュで頑張りました。
Yeah, last time in Sepang, first race, he got beaten by Raul, so he managed to stay focused, just look front, no back, just keep driving.
Thank you. And from Mastercard, this is a good start for the weekend. Do you think so have a race in China, which your Chinese give, which makes the race easier than before at Sepang?
Well, yeah, the hometown race is always exciting, but Ningbo also is my first time to come.